Alright, today I'm going to share my secret for not having flat tires, and that secret is something that's pretty obvious. It's Mr. Tuffy and slime. With this combination, since I've been using this, I've never had a flat tire. I've had air escape, but then it just gets sealed back up by the slime. Now without this, I'll get a flat tire every single time I ride. With the protection I get from this, and then with the backup I get from this, it just doesn't happen. So, on the back of the cap for the slime, there is a stem remover tool. So we're just going to find the stem, and we're going to pull that out. You hear the air escaping. If you want to, you can deflate this by hand. If you pull it out all the way, it will want to try to shoot across the room. So this is what's in there. So you can see all I'm doing is I'm grabbing that with the cap and using that as a wrench to undo those threads. So it does have a chart. So for bicycles, you use 4 ounces. For dollies, you use 4 ounces. Wheelbarrows is 8. And then little motorbikes is 8 ounces. Slime also has a chart that'll tell you if you have larger tires than that, how much you're supposed to use. This bottle is 16 ounces. And according to their chart, this wheel should take 12 ounces. Now, you don't want to just completely fill the tire up with slime, but it's better to have too much than too little. So I'm just going to use 1 bottle per tire for this bike, which is a little bit overkill, but I just like being better safe than sorry. Now we're going to want to remove this little section of hose, and that will sit right on top. And then this is going to sit over that valve stem. Now to get the slime to be able to flow, you need to remove that seal. If you were going to just use a partial amount of this, then you would want to shake this up. Since I'm dumping the whole thing, it's not going to matter. You want to have it so that the stem is up a little bit. When we put the tube on, it might want to try to go back into the tire, so I'm just going to hold it in place and then just dunk it on in. And I do want to do this first before I put in the Mr. Tuffy, because if I put the Mr. Tuffy in first, it's usually better to have a little bit of air in it. And we want to have it completely deflated when we put the slime in. So I probably should have shook it up a little bit anyway. That's okay. Just going to have to work more for this tire. Okay, that is all that. Since I don't want this slime to seal up the valve stem, I'm going to try to clean off as much of that as I can get, and I'll put the valve stem back in. Sometimes you need a tire lever, but with these fat tire bikes, usually you can just get it to pop over without any real effort. Now I'm going to give it a small amount of air, just enough that the tube itself will hold the Mr. Tuffy in place. Alright, not about there. So you didn't even register on here, it still says 0 PSI. So it comes with 2 rolls. You can do the front and the back tire with 1 package. You can see there's kind of a treaded part, and there's a soft part. The soft part goes towards the tube. Now I'm just going to try to walk that around. This part is the not easy part, but it's not terrible. Just a little tedious. When you get to the end, it will overlap. That's okay. It doesn't matter which way you overlap it. Just whatever's easier for you whenever you get there. There we go. So everything right up until the end, we started getting a little funny. But it is not that bad. And then just put it back on the rim. So that's it. Now it's just a matter of refilling. And that is that. Kind of smear that slime around. But the confidence that I get by having that combination in there, it is worth its weight in gold. I actually hate riding bicycles that don't have that in there, because if you've ever ridden a bicycle where it got a flat, either you got to repair that thing on the side of the road, or you got to call somebody that has a big enough vehicle that they can carry that bike. So with this, I have never had a flat with slime and Mr. Tuffy. I've had them lose a little bit of air, so I just keep a pump with me, but I can always get where I need to go with that combo. So yep, that is the way to do it. So I got one more bottle for the front, and I got the other Mr. Tuffy liner. So I'm just going to do that front tire, and then this bike will be ready to ride.